Bruce Carnahan here for Backways and Byways.com. I'm standing on the outskirts of Caldwell, Ohio in southeast Ohio at the site of the very first oil well on the North American continent. Now, there were a couple of other oil wells other than this one in the early days. One was notably the Drake well in Pennsylvania, which I think was drilled 1856, might have been 1859, but I'm pretty sure it was 1856. First commercial oil well ever drilled for the purpose of extracting oil. About 20 years before that, in Adair County, Kentucky, there was a well that was dug, but they were looking for salt. They discovered oil in 1826. But even before that, here in southeast Ohio, there was a couple of old local boys, Mr. Thorla and Mr. McGee. They were digging a well for salt brine. Now, what in the world they were going to do with salt brine, I don't know. But they were. And in the process of digging this well, they hit oil. Well, they didn't know what to do with the oil. There was no real purpose for it. So what they did was they took some old blankets and they soaked the oil up off the top of the salt brine, and they boiled the salt brine down and got salt and sold it. The oil that they extracted, they came up with the bright idea of putting it in bottles, labeling it Seneca oil and selling it as medicine oil, good for what ails you. And right behind me here is still the original oil, open to the elements. They encased it in an old log hollowed out stump, and you can see that stump still there. There's a lot of places like this you may not know about unless you visit Backways and Byways.com.